At first, when Malik downloaded the Uber driver app, he didn't expect much, just something to get him through the end of the month. Rent was due, his graphic design gigs had dried up, and his savings account mocked him with a glowing, unforgiving $4.77. It was March 2025. The economy was recovering, but slowly, unevenly, and like many others, Malik found himself turning to the gig economy out of necessity. He had no idea that stepping into his aging 2012 Toyota Camry with over 180,000 miles on the odometer would take him on a journey far deeper than just miles on a map. It would take him through the underbelly of urban survival, the psychology of desperation, and the myths people believe about easy money. On his first day, he made $94 after 9 hours of driving. Not bad, he thought. But then came gas, which cost $39. Then Uber's 25% cut, and then taxes. Suddenly, that $94 shrunk to less than $35. The next day, he pushed harder. 12 hours, 18 trips, barely any breaks. He made $153 gross. But again, expenses, gas, a small parking ticket, lunch, wear and tear. He took home maybe $65. But something about the hustle hooked him. The sense of movement, the illusion of control. If I just drive smarter, he told himself, if I figure out the peak hours, the bonuses, the surge pricing, the airport tricks. So he read Reddit threads, joined Facebook groups for Uber and Lyft drivers, watched YouTube channels like The Rideshare Professor and Your Driver Mike, and started studying his city like a chessboard. He learned that Sunday mornings were gold after Saturday night party. He learned where drunk college students tipped big, where executives ordered rides without even looking at the fare. Within 3 weeks, Malik was making about $220 a day gross. After Uber's cut and expenses, that came down to around $110. Multiply that by 6 days a week, and he was at $660 net, about $2,640 a month. Not bad, but not great either, especially for 60 to 72 hours of work per week. But when you're in survival mode, you don't calculate hourly wages, you calculate rent, groceries, and what keeps the lights on. Malik's story, though personal, echoed thousands across the country. In 2025, Uber had rolled out new features, upfront fares with trip radar, long-distance bonuses, and time-based pay on select trips. Sounds good, but in reality, the system was designed to maximize efficiency for Uber, not the driver. You might drive 30 minutes to pick up someone for a $7 ride. Or sit 45 minutes in an airport queue, only to get a $12 fare across the street. Drivers joked about phantom surges that appeared in the app but disappeared when they got close. Meanwhile, Uber bragged about driver flexibility, but Malik knew that flexibility meant instability. Still, he became an Uber Pro Gold driver, unlocked tiny perks like 5% off car maintenance, and got early access to promotions. Some days he'd clear $180 net, if tips were strong and surge was active. Other days he'd grind 11 hours to walk away with $70. It was unpredictable, and that unpredictability started to wear on him. His back ached from long hours. His social life vanished. He ate gas station food between rides, guzzled coffee, and began measuring his life in miles and minutes. Every red light was lost money. Every canceled ride was rage. The app started to feel like a boss with no face, no empathy, just relentless pings. And yet, something strange happened. Malik became fascinated by the people he met. A newly divorced woman heading to her first date in years. A Nigerian nurse who worked 3 jobs and still sent money home. A tech bro who tipped $20 just for good vibes. An old jazz musician who said he once played with Miles Davis. These conversations became Malik's real payment. Small windows into other lives, other possibilities. He started journaling each night, jotting down stories. Maybe there was a book here, he thought. Maybe something more. But then the car trouble hit. Transmission issues. A $1,400 repair bill. He didn't have it. Uber offered a rental program, $280 a week for a Hyundai Elantra, insurance included. It was steep, but Malik needed to keep driving. That month, his net income dropped to $1,800. Just enough to scrape by. Then came inflation, gas ticked back up. Uber adjusted fare structures again. Shorter pickups paid less. Meanwhile, ride demand was fluctuating. Malik noticed something: many drivers were quitting. Too hard. Too little reward. Too much wear and tear. But Malik stayed. He wasn't proud, but he wasn't ashamed either. He was surviving. And survival meant compromise. One night, while waiting near a hotel downtown, he got a ride request, a 42-minute trip to the suburbs. $49. Surge pricing. Not bad. He accepted. The passenger, a woman in a sleek black dress, slid into the back seat. She smelled like wealth and roses. Rough night? Malik asked. She looked at him through the rearview mirror and smiled. Just life. Turns out she worked in real estate, hated it, was thinking of quitting. She asked how much Malik made. He hesitated, then told her. She was shocked. That little? She said. He nodded. Why do you do it? He didn't have a clear answer. Maybe freedom. Maybe desperation. Maybe both. She tipped him $50. That night Malik cried in his car. Not from sadness. From release. The next morning he started writing a blog, Behind the Wheel, True Stories from an Uber Driver. It took off. Readers loved the human angle. He began doing short videos, filming from his dashcam between rides. His channel grew. Brands reached out. He monetized. In 3 months, he made more from content than he ever did driving. Ironically, Uber became the side hustle, and content creation became the job. By December 2025, Malik had 82,000 subscribers, a Patreon, and was even writing a book. He still drove twice a week, not for the money, but for the stories. He met a driver from Detroit who lived in his van. A single mom who used Uber to pay for her child's therapy. A retiree who just wanted something to do. Each story added depth, weight. And as his platform grew, Malik began advocating better pay, more transparency, real benefits. He testified on a podcast. He got invited to a local news show. Uber noticed. They sent a PR rep to discuss collaboration. He declined. He wasn't anti-Uber, just pro-driver. Looking back, Malik realized something that numbers don't show. Yes, in 2025, Uber drivers technically make between $15 and $27 an hour before expenses, and somewhere between $6 and $14 after. But what they really make, what they earn, goes far beyond cash. It's resilience, sacrifice, hope, frustration, and human connection. It's a hustle, a grind, a gamble. And in Malik's case, it was also the beginning of something he never expected. A new identity, not just as a driver, but as a voice for the voiceless in the backseat of life. So when people ask, how much do Uber drivers really make in 2025? He smiles and says, enough to keep going. But not enough to stop dreaming.